Your discipline builds your future. Welcome to Clartify.
You don't fail because you lack discipline. You fail because discipline doesn't belong to who you believe you are. That's the part nobody wants to face. People think behavior creates identity. It doesn't. Identity creates behavior. You don't wake up every day and decide who to be. You act according to who you already believe you are. And that belief runs quietly. That's why advice rarely works. You can force habits for a while. You can push yourself temporarily. But eventually, behavior snaps back to identity. Not because you're weak, because consistency requires permission from identity. You never ask yourself, should I brush my teeth today? It's automatic. Not because you're disciplined, because it's who you are. Now look at the things you struggle with. Focusing, training, saying no, being consistent. You don't struggle because they're hard. You struggle because they feel foreign. They don't match your self-image. And the brain always protects identity, even when identity is destructive. That's why people sabotage progress right before it sticks. They start changing, they feel momentum, and suddenly, they stop. Not because it stopped working, because it started threatening identity. Change feels exciting at the beginning, but terrifying when it becomes permanent. Temporary effort is safe. Permanent change forces a new identity. An identity loss feels like death to the brain, so it pulls you back. You tell yourself stories. I'm just not that kind of person. I've always been like this. This is just how I am. Those sentences sound innocent. They are prisons. Your brain loves labels because labels remove responsibility. If you're not disciplined, you don't have to act disciplined. If you're not focused, you don't have to protect attention. Identity justifies behavior. That's why motivation dies fast. Motivation tries to push behavior upward. Identity pulls it back down. Every time. People don't quit habits. They return to identity. That's why real change feels uncomfortable in a deeper way. Not physically, psychologically. You feel like an imposter in your own life. You wake up early, but it doesn't feel like you. You say no to distractions, but it feels forced. You act disciplined, but it feels temporary. That feeling is not failure. It's identity lag. Behavior changed faster than identity. Most people quit here. They say, this isn't natural. This isn't me. They mistake discomfort for incompatibility. But discomfort is proof that identity is being challenged. The brain resists not because change is wrong, but because the old identity is still alive. Identity doesn't update through thinking. It updates through evidence. And evidence requires repetition under pressure. Not once. Not when it's easy. But when the old identity wants control back. That's why consistency matters more than intensity. Every small action you repeat casts a vote for a new identity. Not one big decision. Thousands of small ones. The problem is, people wait to feel like the new person before acting like them. That never happens. Identity follows behavior, slowly. That delay breaks people. They expect instant alignment. They quit when it doesn't arrive. But identity change is quiet. One day something subtle happens. You don't argue with yourself as much. You don't negotiate every decision. You don't need motivation. Because behavior is no longer against identity. It feels normal. That's when discipline becomes effortless. Not because effort disappeared, but because resistance did. You stop asking, should I do this? And start asking, why wouldn't I? That's the moment identity shifted. Most people never reach it. They keep trying to optimize habits without confronting identity. They want results without redefining who they are. That's impossible. You can borrow discipline. You can't borrow identity. You either become the person who does it, or you return to who you were. Every time. This is the part that locks everything. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your identity. If your identity says, I try, your behavior will try. If your identity says, I'm disciplined, your behavior will follow. Not instantly, but inevitably. Change is not about doing more. It's about deciding who you are and proving it with actions until the brain accepts it. If you leave this video thinking about habits, nothing changes. If you leave thinking about identity, everything does. Most people won't do this work. They'll keep optimizing tools. They'll keep searching for techniques, because techniques don't threaten identity. This does. If you feel resistance right now, that's a good sign. It means the old identity is uncomfortable. That's where change begins. Not when it feels good, when it feels unfamiliar. You don't need to become someone new. You need to stop protecting who you were. If this video hit you, press like. If you're ready to build a new identity, subscribe. And comment, I decide who I become.
Thank you for watching. If you're ready to upgrade your mind and build unshakable discipline, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. More powerful lessons are coming. Stay disciplined. Stay clarify.